A record-breaking roller coaster known as Falcons Flight has finished construction and it looks ridiculous. It just doesn't look real. Many new rethemes for rides have been announced across the world alongside certain ones finally taking to the skies, as in starting construction. And here in the UK, quite a few new things have been announced and bidded on to insane amounts. There is a lot happening because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, we are back with this awesome and epic, very consistent series, an exact week or so after the last episode. The consistency king right here. Let's ignore all the previous times I've missed these episodes. But if you don't know, of course, in this series, we talk all about what has happened in the past week in the theme park industry, everywhere around the globe. Hence why it's called This Past Week in Theme Parks. So obviously we talk about more than just one topic. So if you want to see the main topic of this video, that the title and thumbnail is, use the chapters along the progressive video bar at the bottom of your screen. And if you do enjoy this video, then please be sure to use the subscribe button below as well. Would be massively appreciated. So then, as we head towards the end of the year, what has been happening around the world in theme parks, obviously? So as per usual, let's go through the smaller stories that aren't exactly that major, but at the same time are. I just can't really say a lot about them. Just that they've happened, such as Top Thrill 2 that has reportedly been testing again over at Cedar Point, the big old renovation of the hydraulic launch coaster Top Thrill Dragster 1, and funnily enough I heard the theme tune playing for that ride when I went to the co-op recently. I don't know why you needed to know that. But yeah, Top Thrill 2 has been shut all year when it was supposed to be open at the start of the year, and it did for a few days and then closed forever. But it's had a few updates and is now testing again. Fingers crossed it opens again in May 2025, and then they'll blame Zamperla for something again and close it for a year. Another extremely fast ride that has been closed for a very long time, Formula Rossa over in Abu Dhabi, that has started testing as well. Obviously that coaster has been around for a very long time and it is literally the fastest roller coaster
in the world.
And it has been shut for almost a year now, so yeah, it's testing and it should be open soon. Another ride that should be open soon, Circuit Breaker at Cotaland, which is right next to the racetrack Cota. The Circuit of the Americas that the F1 goes to as well, yes, that track right next to it is a theme park, and they are building a brand new Vekoma tilt coaster, one that goes... And that has started vertical construction, including that lift hill and the actual tilt track mechanism. The opposite of starting construction, we're actually losing a ride. Well, the ride's name, not the actual ride. Goliath over in Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, because it's turning into a new theme and a new name, Chupacabra. I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. And they're repainting the ride, and I'm assuming they're going to make some theming changes around the area, but yeah. I really want to ride a Goliath one day. Which one? The one at Six Flags. And what colour is it? You know, the one that's orange. Either way, let's head back from overseas and come back to the UK, where I am. I'm somewhere in England. What am I on about? Ghostly Manor at Paulton's Park is coming along very nicely as always, and the front entrance sign has been put up now, looking very green. And very nice. For a spooky ride, the area and sort of building is currently looking very chilled out. And chilled out, you say? Well, it's going to be a chilly night when it gets to March, especially when it gets dark at Alton After Dark in 2025. That's right, if you remember at Alton Towers, the event this year, Alton After Dark, where 3 nights in the first month of them opening, they opened until about 8 PM and we got night rides and everything. It was a really fun event. They are bringing it back for 2025 with even more dates. I think there's about 6 days now, 5 days, something like that, which is a lot better than 3. But yeah, more 8 PM closes right at the start of the season. We'll take that, because I did really love that event, other than getting spited by a Nemesis Reborn night ride right at the start of the year, so I had to wait until Scarefest. For at least this year, we'll be able to go on Toxicator in the dark, if that doesn't also spite us. Please don't. But yeah, the start of March, an After Dark event. Stay tuned for that. Now, a park that doesn't have an After Dark event in March, these segues are getting awful, Thorpe Park, and they are actually busy changing the name of an area in the park, because it was noticed in the app that the jungle area that is in the park, so with like Nemesis Inferno and Is that it? I can't remember. Whatever was in the jungle before, the jungle is no more because it's now called Calypso Quay. Quay? And as much as they said a while back that they weren't going to bother with area names anymore, I think that's a lot better than the jungle. Calypso, word I can't pronounce. That's a lot better. And talking of renames and a retheme, technically, Pleasure Beach Resort in Blackpool, or Pleasure Beach Lancashire, or Blackpool Pleasure Beach, have of course announced the retheme of their Ice Blast ride. The huge shot tower next to the Viking-themed Valhalla boat ride. And they're deciding to retheme it to space. If this wasn't Blackpool, that would probably be the most contrasting two ride themes I have ever seen next to each other. And yeah, the new ride, Launchpad, that's what it's going to be called. It came with a lovely AI-generated video trailer, and it was a pretty big announcement. So big, in fact, I made an entire separate video about it. So if you want to see that, link in top right. Go and watch it after this video is done. And talking of other videos that I've done solely on one topic of something very interesting. A while back, you may remember a video I made about this sort of weird boat ride that was coming to the UK that had a motion platform with screens. Pretty much it was confirmed on a website from the manufacturer that they were installing a version of their ride type on an existing boat ride in the UK. And well, I thought it would be for Flamingoland's Lost River Ride Adventure. Well, I think for once, I might have actually been correct. What's going on in the world? Play the cheery music. Oh, thank you guys, thank you guys.
You just got lucky.
Shut up. Because now there are actually photos that have surfaced of the actual ride itself with this huge shed-looking structure over the pre-drop, or just over the sort of bit before you drop, which is where that screen and sort of motion-based platform could definitely go. But yeah, hopefully we get an announcement about that from Flamingoland sometime soon. Sooner rather than later, please. Or just get rid of Hero. I'd be happy with that announcement too. Either way, another thing that has happened in the past week, and I actually reported about this in my last episode, the fact it was happening. The Thorpe Park auction. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much Thorpe Park realised that they had loads of old scare maze signage, old ride props and ride hardware, including a banana, lying around, and they probably thought, well, why are they just sitting there? Let's auction them off to Thorpe Park fans and just theme park enthusiasts in general. But that is now closed and the bidding has stopped. So let's have a look at what the prices were in the end. Yep, £9 billion for a Loggers Leap operating panel. Don't worry, it gets worse. A nice £1 billion for a boat from Loggers Leap, you know, a very cheap price. Or you could get it even cheaper. Another boat for £1 trillion. That was absolutely ridiculous to see. Obviously, they weren't the final bids because a part of these bids do go to charity. And also, that was clearly just someone trolling. Either way, what were the final prices that these things actually did get bought for? As you can see, the boats themselves went for around 2 to 3 grand. I don't know why one was 2 and one was 3 because they look the exact same. That banana prop I showed you earlier and joked about, that went for 850 quid. Who the hell is spending that much on a banana? And as much as I only went through a few, the Soar Alive promo sort of sign and the restriction board for Rumba Rapids both went for just over £1 grand each. My God. Now, I did do a bit of research because I found out that the Rumba Rapids sign that they sold had a grammatical error on it, and it didn't seem to be one that they had actually used at the park, but Thorpe Park said that it had been used, but whether it had been used for a day or longer, I guess we'll never know. Yes, lots of money spent, lots of things auctioned off, and lots of enthusiasts maybe happy. Wallets might not be. Fair play to Thorpe Park for finally holding that auction. And talking of lots of money, a brand new theme park opening in Saudi Arabia next year has spent probably a lot more than most parks do on a brand new record-breaking roller coaster. And when I say record-breaking, I mean it breaks the record for the tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster in the world. Just to give you a bit of perspective, if King Dakar was still around, which it obviously isn't anymore, for God's sake, then the max height of this roller coaster, Falcons Flight, is almost 200 foot taller than King Dakar was, having a max height of 640 feet tall. That's crazy. I mean, the airtime hill after that drop is also bigger than King Dakar because that's around 500 plus. Still crazy. And yeah, the height alone, you don't even have to talk about the speed or the length of the ride. The height It's just ridiculous. I couldn't comprehend even seeing a roller coaster of that height in real life. But obviously, we've known about that project for a very long time, so why am I reporting about it today? Well, of course, something has happened with the project in the past week. Because a monumental milestone has been reached. The ride itself, as much as we all thought that it may never actually get fully built or test or anything like that, it has been fully complete. The track now meets up and you can do a full circuit on Falcons Flight. They've actually finished building that thing. What? Like I said, a lot of us were very skeptical whether or not it would actually come close to being finished, and especially when we saw the god-awful first animation of it that got released. We all didn't think that anyone would ever ride this thing or the track would ever be completed. And now, as you can see from these photos from Intamin, it's been completed. I don't even know what to say. The ride looks like it shouldn't be legal. Someone at Intamin has just given their kid Planet Coaster and gone, here, design the biggest, tallest and fastest coaster on it, and they've made something ridiculous. And Intamin have run with it. I mean, some of the views you get off the cliffside in some of these images and like the side views of that massive vertical drop, it just doesn't look like it exists. But it does, and it opens in 2025. Either way, what are your thoughts on all of this, and did you enjoy this video? Because a lot has happened this past week at theme parks, so I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. See you later.